Hey guys, so today I want to talk about the domestic hiring market, the domestic help hiring market. There is a schedule to the year, a flow to the year, just like in the market for anything, and strategically placing yourself in a hiring position at the right time in that flow can translate into thousands of dollars of savings in a year on this domestic hire budget, be it babysitters, housekeepers, live-ins. Elder care also falls in this category. So planning it right can make a huge difference for your family. So let's jump in. The lowest time in the market, and I'm talking low supply and low demand, a time that I wouldn't want to see you in the market making a hire if you have a choice, is Thanksgiving through January. It's just a low time. People are not letting go of good people at that time. If they're letting go of someone, they were bad. So there just aren't a lot of good people in the market. I guess the good thing is for every wonderful candidate out there, they truly pop because they're surrounded by a lot of mediocre or less than mediocre candidates, but there just aren't that many. So the selection is very low. So if you have a choice, I would not be in that period of time looking to make a new long-term hire. The next period of time, January through the beginning of March, is actually one of my favorite times to hire someone. I think this is the sweet spot of the year because supply is starting to increase. After the new year, families are making transitions. Some people put their child in daycare starting January. That's a very common thing. Or people transition out of a job into a different job, so their needs change. Maybe they had a live out who was excellent, but they decide they need to live in because their husband took a job that's traveling. So there are some really wonderful people who enter the market, but demand is still very low. So because of that, you're not in competition with 20 other families for that one person, and you can easily negotiate a slightly lower salary. Market rates are market rates. And if you're already coming into the market on the very lower end, you're not going to lower that even more. There are no huge deals. There's no something for nothing out there anymore. Everyone really needs to make kind of a basic wage, and especially in this industry, as we've seen, there's been a 30% increase on wages in the whole service sector since the beginning of COVID. Look at Target starting wages. Look at, Five Guys burger place starting wages. There's been a 30% increase across the board. So in that January to March segment, even if you can save $1 per hour, and a 40-hour week, let's take a 40-hour week, that's $160 a month. That's $2,000 a year. Over. That's huge. I can figure out what to do with $2,000 instead of paying a housekeeper or babysitter. Can you? So I think that's a really sweet time to hire someone, especially before March and April. So for my Jewish clients, that's high Passover season. If you have wanted to change your lady, your housekeeper, a babysitter a little less, but your housekeeper, and you've gotten to March or April and now you're ready to pull the trigger, you're a little too late. So there's just really high demand at that time, especially on the housekeeper side. And I would caution you away from doing that. You're going to pay a premium for what could end up being a mediocre candidate, unless you're working with an agency like ours, because of course we do not work with C-level or lower candidates. There's no mediocre. So I think you're going to overpay for what you get. I would caution against making the hire then. If you're really miserable with someone and you feel your money's just going straight into the garbage, by all means, make a change. These are just suggestions for if you have a choice, if you're coming at this and you feel you have a decision coming up to hire someone, make a change, or hire someone new, could you time that appropriately? Great. So post-Passover season, April, depending on when it falls out that year, April and May are also a good time to hire. You do see some good ladies sitting in the market in May, but not every family is hiring. So some families have let their lady go in May because they're, leaving for the summer. They know they're putting their kids in camp, so they don't really need her. Mom was a teacher and now mom's home. So you see really amazing ladies entering into the marketplace and sitting there. So that's a great time to grab someone for the next year, even if you're going away over the summer. We can talk about that, what to do if you're traveling over the summer for up to a month, but you want to hire someone. There are solutions. So then we enter the high points of the market, June, July, and August. I caution people every year to not wait until August to make their hire. And I'll say it again, don't wait till August. Don't wait till August. Please don't wait till August. So June and July are excellent times to hire. Yes, there are a lot of good ladies in the market. Yes, competition can be high also. Families are going on vacation, so a lot of families do put off hiring until August. But, June and July, you are going to have more competition. The market is moving more quickly. If you interview someone and then you want to wait to think about it for a few days, she may be gone. She's likely gone. It's a peak time, so you need to hire quickly. There are tons of people out there looking for jobs, people who had other jobs and are trying to enter the industry. I would say the potential to make a bad hire is also really high then, because there are people who got fired from something else and think, oh, I'll just be a nanny as a backup. In another video, I'll talk about all the scams out there, the pitfalls, the things you should really look out for and avoid. But June and July are peak times in the market. It's a decent time to make a hire. Of course, supply is up, but so is demand. Which brings us to August. Please. Most people seem to be hiring in August, but it's just such a hard time. Demand is through the roof. Supply is dwindling because a lot of great hires were already made in June and July by families who think ahead. So in August, yes, you still have excellent people coming into the market, but at a slower rate. Some of the gems have already been hired. And in August, you definitely have those people who've been sitting around June and July, still flooding the market, clogging up the market. So you have a lot of C-level people out there who, transition through jobs every 6 to 9 months, who have some Achilles heel that just makes them not a great hire for the long term. And again, in another video, I talk about that. But, the market starts to get heavy with those mediocre people. August 15th to September 1st, there are very few excellent hires still sitting around in the market, unless their family just hasn't told them yet, or the family has told them, we want you till September 1st. There are still great people popping up, but the percentage is much lower than in July and August. And what happens is that huge chunk of mediocre people start to look really appealing when you're desperate. So, that woman who 20 families have passed up, if you're walking into the market August 15th and you have to hire someone within the next 2 weeks and you're desperate and you're stressed out, you start to overlook some things. You start to make excuses for them. You're comparing them to a bunch of other C-level people also. So they might look great compared to other mediocre people. But had you lined them up against some great hires in July, you wouldn't even given them an interview. So August 15th to September 1st is a mad rush. It's like an auction house. Picture, one of those, and over here we have those auctioneers. That's what the market is like, I'm telling you. And people start bidding for these ladies. It's like an auction. They're like, well, I'll pay her more. I'll pay her $15 more a week. So I see ladies making 20-30% more than they really should be making. They're not worth that in the market, but because families are desperate and demand is super high and families know they're competing against other families. Any family at that time of year who has decided to hire a mediocre lady just kind of said, okay, fine, okay, we'll hire her, even though their gut instinct is telling them this is not the right person, this is not a high quality person, and they've had that person stolen away from them by another family, hired before they could offer the job. They're crazed from that point on. A desperation overtakes families and they start throwing money at the problem. So you could find a lady who I wouldn't want to pay $18 an hour to at any other time of year, getting a job for $23 an hour. It's crazy. So I just, of course I place a lot of ladies August 15th to September 1st. I basically don't sleep for the month of August. It's fine. There I am, helping all the people who didn't plan ahead or wanted to hire at the last minute. So I hate what I see for some families. Again, we never place mediocre people. We never help our clients into a bad situation by saying, okay, this person's $23 an hour, you'd better pay it because now you're desperate. I will help clients figure out a temporary person until the market cools down. So let's talk about when the market cools down. It's really not until September 15th because some schools start a little later. Some families hired a woman and then within a week see she's an awful hire or the woman walks out on the job. So there's really still kind of a craziness until September 15th, but it's all bad news. Like, that's just not a good place to be in the market. It really, really isn't. Don't be there if you can possibly stand to not be there for any forward planning you can have. But, there are some good hires made then. Some ladies took a job and it was a bad situation for them. Some ladies contracted with their families that they would stay through 2 weeks into the next school year, which is very bad for them. That's strategically a very bad time for them to be sitting in the market. But, if that's what their previous family asked and they honored, then there they are. So there are some good ladies in the market at that time of year, but the energy is frantic. So great. Try not to be there. September 15th to Thanksgiving. This is an okay place to be in the market. I wouldn't intentionally want to be there. It's not May and June where I think you can grab great ladies, or January, February where I think you can grab great deals and some great ladies. It's, we would say a b'diavad time if you're Jewish and know that term. It's okay. You can get good ladies. Many people who are hiring then, I'd say most, are hiring because they need to, because the lady they had just really didn't work out. Most people don't choose to replace a lady at that time of year. That's not, they planned and thought this was best. So it's an okay time. There are a lot of good hires that happen then. It's more work for us. It's a lot more work at that time of year to find the right hires, to find the good people. But that's on us. We definitely help clients at that time of year. So there's an overview of the year. Again, January, February, great deals to be had, and you have the bargaining power. May and June, there's competition, so I wouldn't say that there's so much negotiation, but great candidates can sit in the market at that time of year and not be hired. So you might be the only one approaching this amazing lady who's been working for a family for 5-6 years and is just now entering the market again, and you may grab her and she'll be such a high quality lady. She'll be in your home for the next 5-6 years. The times to avoid: March, April, right around Passover, is a hard time to hire a housekeeper, and know that you're getting a good person at a good deal. Nobody's letting go of their great housekeeper right before Passover. The other hard time is August, especially August 15th to September 1st. You're in hot competition with thousands of other families, and you run the risk of overpaying for a mediocre person. And there are very few great ladies hanging out in the market then waiting to find a job. So times that I would recommend, times that I would avoid, and then those medium times: April and May, September, October, and early November, when, okay, you could hire. There are some challenges, not the easiest time, but not the worst. And then there's the dead zone of Thanksgiving to January 2nd. So Hope that helps. Hire strategically, hire on your own terms. If you have a lady you don't like, don't spend another day with her. You're wasting money. This is a $30,000 to $40,000 plus year position. Lots of clients in that professional nanny world, the higher tier world, pay $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 for their nannies. Those people are making very smart decisions with their money. This is an investment with their family, and they're considering this higher. But some people who are paying their lady $18 an hour, they're not realizing that's a $30,000 a year job in the end. And if you're spending $30,000 a year on something, you want it to be high quality. So if you're getting mediocre results, don't sit there with this lady. That doesn't make any sense, or man. There's some men in the market now, so let's it's like 5%, but whoever this person is working for you, I wouldn't sit with mediocre, but I wouldn't wait until they quit on you and then you're under the gun and you're maybe hiring in an unfavorable time. So hope that helps. I'm available as always. No expectations, no charge for informational phone calls. Just text me, let's book one to help you target the right time to hire for you. And good luck finding the right person for your family. Obviously, the people who work with us are thrilled. They keep their nannies an average of 3 years with very, very high satisfaction. And we would love to help you if we can. All the best.